Today we're going to be talking about a bird that is very similar to chickens, which makes it an easy addition to anyone's backyard homestead. And we actually chose to add these birds to our homestead, not only in their capability of creating a meat source and egg source for you, as well as their capability for eradicating insects. They're also really well known for their ability to ward off predators, as they have a loud warning call and are really quite territorial. Now, these are often nicknamed the pet speckled hen or the original fowl, and these are the Guinea fowl. They are known for eating both seeds and insects, and they are a ground nesting bird, which makes them an ideal animal to add to your homestead. Now, there are so many similarities between them and chickens, which make it really easy for any backyard chicken raiser to be able to add these into their flock, but there are quite a few differences. And today we're going to be going over how to actually get started with raising guinea fowl in your backyard, which we actually just started for the first time this year and have done so much research and have learned a lot in the past couple of weeks that we had to share with you. I'm Danielle of the Split Arrow Farm, and welcome to our channel where we bring you new content twice a week so that you can learn to create your own backyard homestead and live more self-sustainably. Especially in the world that we are in today, it is even more important to be able to grow and source your own food. But let's keep talking about how to actually start off with guinea fowl. To kick things off, let's talk about when you actually want to get these guinea fowl. And the key is going to be able to get them either from egg or at a very, very young age when they are called keets or a baby guinea fowl. Guinea fowl moms are notorious for being bad moms. So a lot of individuals will oftentimes find their eggs in their ground nests, which if you have a bunch of guinea fowl, they'll usually all lay their eggs in one location and one mom will watch the eggs for everyone. But normally people will take the eggs and actually incubate themselves. The incubation period is anywhere from 26 to 28 days. And when you do have those little babies, if you are incubating them from yourself, it's going to be really great. Or you can actually purchase them at a young age from any hatchery. And you're going to want to make sure that you're keeping these keets in a space that's going to be their home forever if possible. And I say this because they are great wanderers. So if you can keep them in a location they can start to call home, then it's going to be easier to actually make sure that they stay there. Now, chickens have been domesticated for hundreds of years, while guinea fowls have been domesticated for thousands of years with little success. It's been dated back all the way to the Romans' time when they actually started the domestication, and there still hasn't been that much success, which says a lot about these birds and their abilities to actually stay in an area. They're very flighty, they love to go up in high spaces, so you'll want to make sure that you have an area for them that they can go up, fly around, and they can really stay in that space. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a step back and actually talk about the brooder or grow out cages that you're going to be needing for guinea fowl. A lot of the similarities between your chickens and guinea fowls are going to be in this next stage, which is once you've actually incubated and hatched out your keets, or you've ordered them, they've arrived in the mail, then you're going to be putting your keets into a brooder. And a brooder is going to be a space where you have heat provided for them, there's water, food, bedding, and it's a safe area. Now, a little bit different, keets are actually going to be able to fly a lot earlier than chickens, so you definitely want to make sure that there's a covering over it. Otherwise, you are going to have escaping keets, and we definitely do not want that. The food that you're going to want to feed them is, you definitely, if you can, start off with a game bird starter type of feed. If you do not have something like that around, then you can do a chick feed, but they are more of a game bird chick, so it really would be more beneficial to do something like that. But I know in this crazy world, it's not always that easy to do. Outside of their feed, now we're just free feeding them throughout the day, so you always have food there and you're always having water. When they are little, they actually look like quail. They are so tiny. And because they're so tiny, you want to make sure that their water is safe where they aren't going to be able to drown in it. So definitely put some marbles into the water system that you have so that they aren't able to drown in that water. You're putting in the fresh bedding and then you're checking in on them. Now the heat source that you have, you can start at a higher degree, and then similar to chickens or quails that you're raising, you're going to lower that every week by 5 degrees. Usually around 6 to 7 weeks, they're gonna have this heat source. In the winter, it might be a little bit longer until they're fully feathered out, and then you can really start to remove this and have them in their grow out area. As I said earlier, if you can have this brooder grow out area in the same area of where you're going to actually keep them long term, this is going to be the most beneficial for you because you want them to learn their home. It's really hard to domesticate these birds, and the earlier that you can get them to understand where their home is, the better. Once your chicks are old enough, then you're going to be able to allow them into their coop. We actually created a section in our barn. We used an old barn stall and we turned it into a coop area for our guinea fowl. We actually boarded up all of the sides so they weren't able to escape. We made high roosting bars because they really like to roost very high. And when they are older, they're definitely going to roost up in the trees, up on the barn, anything that's really nice and high to keep them protected from any predators that are on the ground. You're also going to notice that because they're not great at being domesticated, they will try to escape if they can. So keeping them in there, making them feel like it is their home early on is going to be a key for your success. From a lot of our research, we found that keeping them in this coop area for 10 weeks is going to be the best, and then taking half of the herd, letting them free range, then come back, and then the other half or half again the next day, letting them do that for a couple days until you let them all out is going to help with really making them learn that this is their house. Keats and then Guinea Fowl also really love to have a light. It makes them feel a lot safer. So if you could put a light outside of your barn, coop, or wherever their home is going to be, this is going to help make sure that they actually go home at the end of the night and don't just sit up in a tree. And this will just help them feel safer. We actually use solar powered lights outside of our barn, and these have been a game changer because one, you don't have to worry about getting electric to your coop area, and two, it's just something that is really easy and efficient to do. So I'll leave a link down below of the lights that we use that have really been a game changer, and they look pretty cool. In regards to your perches, you want to make sure that they are a hardy perch because these birds are much larger than a chicken would be, so they really need to be able to hold up to that weight. And when you are building them, you want to allow for 12 inches per bird so that they can all perch up on there. Now, these are the items that you're going to need to be set up for success. Growing out and having your own guinea fowl is going to be a journey, and we're going to take you along with the entire process. So stay tuned and check out these other videos here on different ways that you can brood and learn about guinea fowl. See you next time. Bye.